for a animated movie not set in the DC universe, and this has nothing to do with the DCAU, the DC animated universe. It felt very DC, like it belonged in the DC animation universe. Hi, welcome to That's a Wrap, the channel where I review TV shows, movies, and movie trailers. Today's TV show that we will be reviewing is the Netflix original Blood of Zeus. If you're not familiar with this movie, consider this your spoiler warning. So let's get on to the review. So I'm a sucker for mythology. I'm a sucker for anything Greece, Egypt, Mayan. So when I saw that there was a animated movie based on the title tells you, I mean, it says the blood of Zeus. It's only one or two ways you could take that. One, he gets injured, or if you're a historian or a fan of Greek mythology or just a fan of Zeus, you would have to assume that it's about an offspring, like Hercules, like so many of his sons that end up being demigods and part God, part human. So I was like, hey, let me give this a try, because I finished with a bunch of stuff and I wanted to give myself a little break from the DCAU, and I was like, oh, let me check this out, kind of take me out. To my surprise, it felt a lot like watching a DCAU movie. Similar animation style, especially when you had, towards the end, you had Zeus and Hera fighting each other. It felt like Wonder Woman and Superman. Like, I was like, wow, I could just literally replace those two with Superman and Wonder Woman, and it'll fit right in with that style of animation and storytelling, and it's a good thing. Now, if you're familiar with anything regarding to Zeus, it's that story, right? He falls in love with a mortal woman, a beautiful mortal woman. He sleeps with her. He gets, he impregnates her, and then all hell breaks loose when Hera finds out. In this case, the king impregnates her, but Zeus also impregnates the same woman. So there's two kids with two different placentas in there with different eyes, which is already a weird little concept. I'm sure there's some science where that's viable, or that can happen, where the sperm of two different men can maybe happen and go in and impregnate a woman, and two different babies come out of that genetically. Maybe, I'm not sure. I don't think that my science background is basically none. So someone a lot smarter can tell me that. Let me know down in the comments. Is that possible? Have you heard of any stories of that being even the case? But anyway, so basically, the king finds out, the human king finds out and tries to kill Zeus's son. Zeus protects him. The brothers basically grow old, or grow to teens apart, don't know nothing about each other. They both have really rough upbringings, but separate upbringings. One becomes a evil kind of semi-demigod. The other one comes to be a self-righteous demigod, or at least a goody two-shoe demigod, for, in layman terms, or make it easier to understand. And they basically have to fight because Hera wants to destroy them both, because she's jealous, like she is in mythology, to the point where it almost costs the gods, or the Olympian gods, everything when they unleash the giants in the sea. That's literally almost the plot for verbatim. So I enjoyed it. I gave this movie a B+. Just the story was great. Every episode kept me engaged, kept me wanting to know what was gonna happen next. There was a few lulls, but what do you expect? I think it's 8 episodes long, like most Netflix shows are, but it wasn't to the point where it dragged me down. I thought the voice acting, the casting for these heroes was great. I believed them. There was the pacing of the dialogue was on point. The music, the score was nice. It gave it a nice epic feel. I liked the animation of every episode. The title was a little different, that lets you know what was going to happen in that, if you kind of paid attention, every one of the, when it said the blood of Zeus, you would see the background change, and it'll kind of set the mood for what you were going to kind of unveil or be told to you. And I thought it was a cool little Easter egg if you were paying attention. But the animation, I mean, I'm a fan of the DCAU and the way they do that, and this was again similar, so I can't, you know, I maybe I'm just biased and I'm a sucker for that type of animation, but I thought it was all brilliantly done. No grief for me. The story, like I said, was good. The pacing was great. It was a retold story, don't get me wrong, but nothing that it was new characters in an old, because again, you could open up a history book and it'll basically tell you this same story of Zeus over and over and over again. Hey, what can you say about Zeus? He loved his earth women, the creatures he created, or maybe he didn't create, but he loved earth women basically and couldn't keep his pants up. And Hera, to her credit, was pissed. She was like, dude, you make me feel like a dumbass every time you do this. You go down and cheat on me over and over and over again, and I am done. Like this, she had it up to the top of her head, and she's like, I'm done. You know, I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna show you what my scorn, what my revenge is going to be. And her scorn was vicious. It wasn't until the last episode where Zeus's love for Hera, because he does love her, and there was this weird blink at the end where he basically sacrifices himself, even though I think there's a season 2 coming, or at least they should be. This series was really, really good. Again, Netflix only goes with subscriptions, so maybe that will be its hindrance if it hasn't been announced yet. I don't know if a season 2 is coming or not. I'm fairly late to this animated series, but there was a little bit piece where he sacrifices himself, and Hera finally understands the love that she had for that Zeus had for her. But it was just in a small glance. One thing I will say though, this is a part of the animation. The giants felt like there was too much shadow on the giants from the sea monsters. And then when they came out of the sea, my first thought was like, okay, is Godzilla gonna come and fight them? Because it looked a lot like a bunch of kaijus that Godzilla should be fighting. Did anybody else think that, or was it just me? Because I was like, wait, these villains or these monsters feel like they should be in the Monsterverse more than a Blood of Zeus story or animation movie. But hey, maybe it was just me. But anyways, again, I give this animated movie a B+. Go out and check it out. It's in Netflix. If you have a Netflix account, you don't have nothing to lose. You don't got to subscribe. It's already there, and you're going to entertain yourself. So 8 episodes. Again, I gave it a B+, and I completely enjoyed it. But hey, those are just my thoughts. I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. And like always, that's a wrap.